The way to survive, okay? No worries. We will find.
Beautiful, everybody. I just wanted to remind you, I left a tip on the maids.
Foreshadowing of the future.
Yeah.
What? What's the rules with the United States?
We have to get united there.
The thing about the Greek landscape is that it's mountains everywhere, and not only are they beautiful, they keep changing. I never got bored looking out the window, watching the different levels of mountains, the different landscapes go by. It was so picturesque, and I'm sure part of that was because the Greek landscape is new to me, so it was a little exotic, but all of the hills and the mountains and the trees and the farms and the villages and even the cities look better in Greece. The hours-long drives went by really quickly because there was just so much amazing, breathtaking scenery that you just didn't want to miss. So that was something we all enjoyed immensely. As we were approaching Delphi, the mountain range kept getting bigger and grander, and I swear more beautiful, if that's possible. And so there was this sense of anticipation as we made our way to the sacred mountain, and it seemed that that sense of anticipation was mirrored in the changing landscape as we approached. But it was called the Symposium.
Shopping, girls.
Yeah, we do need to get a few things. How many hours do we have? Look at the view from that restaurant. Oh my God.
What a fun place.
More restaurants, and you see, you look at it.
This is it, guys. Delphi should be on your left. Right in here. After the park.
Oh wow.
It does.
Hey, Makisha.
So by the time we arrived at the actual park where the temple of Apollo is, and the entire place is like a whole sacred city up there in ruins, and by the time we got there we all really needed a bathroom break, so before we did anything we made a beeline to the facilities. apparently there is some kind of tradition where you mark that you were there. There's graffiti all over the bathroom stalls. I don't necessarily condone such behavior, but I was amused by it.
Hold on.
So as soon as we were refreshed and ready to really absorb the space, we ritually washed in the same underground spring that the oracles would have washed ritually in thousands of years ago before proceeding with the rituals of the day to do their oracular work. So we got to, in a sense, follow in the same footsteps more or less as those ancient priestesses. It was really immersive to be able to do that.
Hello, little one. Hi, little one.
To the temple of Apollon, and they will clean it, and they will clean the temple, they will cleanse themselves. That was part of the reason. So we came here, did our cleanser, so now it's moving over there. So now we're going to go across the street. Careful because there's a car coming.
Zephy asked us to come up with a question to think about through the afternoon so that when we did eventually come to the oracular seat, we would have some question for hopefully getting some answers and actually getting a chance to do this oracular inspiration in nearly the exact same spot that the oracles would have. So we made our way down first to the temple of Athena, and we were all wearing white so that we could really be in this amazing sort of heart space of
Kitties, little guys, we scared you?
experiencing the ruins there at Delphi in the way that is sympathetic to what the space actually was used for, as sacred space, as temples. As we walked down together, all in white, contemplating our own questions for the universe, it really felt like we were maybe not embodying, but invoking the sacred ritual that would have been so much a part of that space. So it was a real honor to be able to visit the site in this practical way instead of just, oh, look at these beautiful ruins. We got a chance to use them. Not directly, they frown on actually, climbing on the old stones, but we got to be in that space, the temple square proper.
I'm gonna do my epic pan.
So I'm going to sneak in there now. Whatever is brave enough. Sneak in. Me. Okay, I'll do first. She's out back. No, I do the water, don't worry. Okay. So
we walked around for a little while to get ourselves grounded and familiar with the space and into a meditative state. We'd been at the car for hours. And so we sort of just soaked it in for a little while and meditated, felt the space.
Delphi is very, very, very special. Partly because of all the days preceding up to it, and I really felt my connection to the divine.
Wow.
And I was receiving messages the whole time we were there. It was so deeply personal to me.
Yeah.
About my life journey and what I'm about.
That's intense.
It was a lovely day. If you make me stick to just one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Then we came together to leave a water offering at the temple site, which we had to do a little covertly because the docents were a little anxious about us wearing all white. They were worried, what are these people going to do? So they were kind of watching us real hard. So we left our little offering of water for Athena and prayed as a group and asked Athena for
do our breathing and the white light and the red light, okay?
For wisdom, for knowing, for peace, love, healing, abundance,
and ground yourself.
And asked for clarity for our third eye so that we could be oracles and receive messages when we walked up to Delphi.
Oh Goddess Athena, come here.
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 Oh Goddess Athena, give us your wisdom.
Give us your wisdom.
Give us knowing.
Give us your knowing.
Give us your peace.
Give us your peace.
And allow us to walk on this earth with peace.
And allow us to walk on this earth with peace.
For us to spread love.
For us to spread love.
Healing.
Healing.
Abundance.
Abundance.
In every step we take.
In every step we take.
Clear our third eye.
Clear our third eye.
For us to receive a message.
For us to receive a message.
As we're going to walk up to the temple of Apollo.
As we're going to walk up to the temple of Apollo.
We're here for that oracle knowing.
We're here for that oracle knowing.
Because we are oracles.
Because we are oracles.
And the wisdom is inside of us.
And the wisdom is inside of us.
Put your hands on the top of your head in prayer. Focus and walk up with no talking, so we can go directly to the temple of Apollo. Okay?
So that was a really powerful prayer, really good for helping us focus, I imagine, too. At that point, we made our way silently back up the hill, back along the road. again symbolically washing in the water flowing out of the rock, and then we walked up to Delphi.
So we're first going to see Athena's temple also again, where they offer all the gold, and then we're going to go to the belly button of the earth. I call it the belly button. So if you want to go by the gold, you can offer a little bit of water, just an offering of yourselves to her. It's like offering gold. Because the water is really gold.
As we made our way up the old stone pathways, walking by and through all of these ruins, we were walking up very silently so that we could stay in our meditative headspace. Our guide, Zephy, shared useful and interesting facts about stuff as we went.
Walking amongst all the ancients that came here to do their offerings, to do all that. So let's continue before this big crowd comes in. So this is the offering place.
One of our first things we looked at was the navel of the world, and there's a big long mythological story behind how this place was designated the navel of the world, which you can look up if you're interested in. It's an entertaining story.
And we walked up to it with all the kings from all the different towns. There were different kings in each town, and they'll for gold. So as we go out, guys, just on the steps or on the side where the marbles are, just throw a little bit of water. You know, I'll just walk and just throw a little bit as I go all the way to the top. That's my offering. So I like if no one watches me.
But we said a little prayer, left a little offering at the global navel, and walked up the path that all of the supplicants would have walked and left offerings as they went. It was really cool. I got to admit that we were all dressed in white and trying to embody that reverence for the space, because the tourists just presumed we were there on official business, and everybody there, other than some of the docents who were a little nervous about us, almost like we made the experience a little more real for them. It was a really cool feeling to be embodying this image for all these people who were there. We even had one lady who just had to come up and talk to us and tell us how cool it was to see us there. So that was really fun.
It's time to wake up the ancient wisdom. Yeah, we all of us are healers. Most of us. Take care, have fun. She's perfect.
And then finally we were there, standing under the pillars of Apollo's temple, what's left of it. There we were, sitting at Apollo's temple, and we sat there for a while and meditated on our questions. So after we sat and received these messages, we continued on and got up to a place where there was a vantage point and we could look out, and it was at the foot of the theater that's there, and you could sit basically at where the stage would be for the theater.
Okay. So, ready to share? I received the message that everybody was done.
So we sat down and we shared, and the question I decided to ask was, what's next? You know, what's next in my life? What should I be focusing on? As I sat there, putting that question out there, very clearly and distinctly heard the thought, that's not the right question. You already know what's next. Okay, fair enough.
But you gotta get your camera out of there.
Since I really didn't have anything else prepared, I just sent out, what do I need to know? I wasn't sure I was hearing it right at first, because it felt like the sort of thing I would want to hear, but very clearly I got a sense of, you are loved. And also I got a strong, this one I just about heard, you are ours. And that really hit me hard, in a good way. The thought that the powers that be would own me. So either the universe is claiming an ownership of me as a metaphysical being, or my ego really had a lot of fun with me. So feel free to decide whatever take on that you like, but that was the experience I had, and it was quite moving. In fact, I didn't even share that particular answer with the group because it just felt so pretentious to be on a journey like that with people who are all identifying in that way, and I didn't want to be like, hey, I'm so awesome. So I just kind of quietly tried to process the implications of these answers, and also tried to figure out, am I just having an ego-bloated dose of crazy? It's possible. You always gotta watch yourself.
But I wanted to point something out. Hold on, if you guys want to hold here for a minute. If you want to watch, she's down there. It's directly connected to the oracle. So she's totally always looked at the feminine oracle.
That's
female,
where we were sitting.
and watch her and protect her. Her queen. What she needed to do, she always had protection.
There's a line of sight directly between the Temple of Apollo, where the oracles sit, or did sit, and the Temple of Athena, because Athena was looking out after these oracles, and so there's a direct line of sight correlation between the temples.
So she's the wisdom, correct? She's not the wisdom of knowledge in our head, she's the wisdom of inner knowledge. So it's a direct connection right there. She always watched her oracles and her regions.
After we'd had a little sit down for a little while, it was a lot of work climbing up there. We made it back down to the visitor center, hung out in the museum, and we spent the time contemplative in our own minds and chit-chatting a little bit and enjoying seeing a lot of the artifacts that had been dug up from that archaeological site. As the museum was closing, we went to nearby town and had a lovely alfresco dinner.
I can't.
We just sat and enjoyed each other's company and talked.
What's in there? Yogurt and beets, and there was something else. Garlic.
It was just a really happy day.
Έχουν άλλους ρυθμούς. Άβαλα λίγο πίσω, αν θέλετε πέτα το και αυτά εδώ. Πείτε τι θέλει πακέτο ή όχι. Δεν ξέρω για αυτά.
After dinner, we headed to another town right there near Delphi. It's a little tourist place that specializes as a ski town when it's winter. It's a beautiful little town, and there's a little place there. I want to say resort, but it was small. It was like a cottage industry resort where this man had a small farm, and he had some really nice cabins that were decked out for, I'd say, at least 4-star accommodations, and the views were amazing. As you can see, this is the view from our balcony.
Yeah, so this is the view out our balcony.
And it was so adorable because after we got checked in and we were getting ready to go just walk around and take in the sights of this little town, the owner He was so adorable, and he shared his pecans with us.
Oh, thank you. I think everybody wants a helmet.
And we showed enough interest in that. I think he was having a lot of fun sharing this small little piece of the world that he had created and built for himself and his family.
These are chestnuts? Is that very, very spiky?
We got to taste his grapes.
Those grapes, I like the grapes on the farm when I was a kid.
They're so flavorful.
This place is awesome.
We're all saying that.
And look at his fruit trees and his garden, and we met his donkey, Mercedes. And it was really, really charming. And we spent a good, I think, half an hour letting him give us a tour of all of the work he had done on the outside of the property. And so that was really fun. Then we drove into town and just walked and checked out the shops and enjoyed the scenery and the views and the old buildings and the old streets, and it was just a charming and relaxing, lovely way to end the day.
Hey, being
One more, hold on. Ah, não precisa me ligar desses 1, 2, 3.
I have these cards. And these cards.
By then it was really late and we didn't have many hours left before we'd have to get up really early in the morning and rush to get to Athens in time to board the cruise ship for the rest of our journey.
What Cypris does. You know, she takes it and I don't even know.
Thank God for Cypris.
Thank God for Cypris.
I'm not
She
as
takes
good
it,
a
I don't even know.
photographer.
And then the next thing I know is she's taking where I'm playing or whatever.
But then it's too late and you just got to keep going.
Exactly. When I notice it is too late.
Eventually it got too dark for the camera to be taking pictures. Tune in next time and find out what happened with our rising before dawn and rushing across the country to get back to Athens to board a cruise ship to make it to some of the Greek islands. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for our exciting continuing adventures in Greece and keep that travel wild.